Hello everyone, so glad to have you here today. My name is Hee-Young Lim. I'm currently a cello professor at the Beijing Central Conservatory of Music. And I'm very excited to share my tips for cello playing with you. The cello is one of the most beloved and popular string instruments. With a range very similar to the human voice, the cello is able to mimic the full extent of our vocal register from the bass to the soprano. It carries a distinctive warmth, which allows cellists to bring its rich tone into pieces written for other instruments. The cello's unique instrument profile enables us to make a diverse variety of suitable arrangements for all pieces. The cello has always been quite close to my heart, both figuratively and literally. Unlike other instruments, we play the cello by placing it right against our chest. I love the fact that I embrace my cello and it feels interconnected and resonant with my body. This feeling has inspired me ever since I began playing. I've always felt that my voice was a bit high, so correspondingly, playing in the lower register has given me the means to express myself in a manner that I couldn't before. This way, the cello has given me a new voice, as its sound is literally coming out of me. It has become a part of me that is as natural as singing. Now, let's move on to today's topic on how to practice bow movements using our natural weight without unnecessary pressure. This will help you to produce a richer sound as well as maintain a comfortable body posture while playing the cello. Let's get started. Everybody's bodies are different, so everyone's setup may look slightly different. But there are some essential basics. Don't be puzzled if the way you play the cello looks slightly different than the way others play. I'm frankly very small and have short fingers, so I do have some disadvantages and cannot play the way a 6-foot man with enormous fingers can. But no need to be frustrated. There's always a way to adapt to one's physical stature and bring out the best in your playing. That's why we are going to work on fundamental bow techniques today to play the cello in the most comfortable way for you. Firstly, when it comes to bow technique, it's important to remember not to push too hard. Let gravity do the work and allow your arm to fall naturally. Make sure to focus your effort more on pulling the bow horizontally rather than on pressing downwards. Now, let's observe how your arm, elbow, and fingers feel at each point. At the frog, in the middle, at the tip of the bow, and look for the perpendicular angle. Remember, the angle of the bow will be different for each string. So make sure your wrist is not excessively bent when you are playing at the tip of the bow. If your wrist is blocked or too tight, your arm will be forced to move more, which can hinder your speed and tone production. In fact, the freezing of any joint can make your bow angle inconsistent. All joints should move in coordination to stabilize the arm during bow movements. When you pick up the cello and position it in the center of your body, make sure that you can move your body freely with your cello. A good tip is to allow yourself room to turn your cello a bit. For example, when you play A string, you can turn your cello to the right side. This will help you produce a better sound and it allows you to be physically at ease. On the flip side, if you turn your cello to the left side for the C string, it will improve the sound projection and you will have a better sense of maintaining the correct angle by aligning the bow and bridge. You can also monitor yourself while sitting in front of a mirror so you can watch your movement carefully. If the angle is not correct, there will be some differences in quality of sound as well. The bow can also be used to make different types of sounds. If you want to make a strong sound, it's best done with flat bow hair for maximum contact. If you want to make a softer sound, you can choose to use a minimal amount of hair. Depending on the character of the music you play, you may want to decide whether you place the bow closer to the bridge or not. Placing the bow closer to the bridge creates a stronger sound, while further away from the bridge sounds softer. But for the beginners, I would recommend that we aim for healthy sound projection by placing our bow as close to the bridge as possible. Now that we have understood bow positioning, let's discuss bow pressure. It's important to pay attention to the pressure you place on the bow as you draw it across the string. First, I'm going to press down heavily on the string. Now, I'm not going to press as hard and just draw the bow across the string. See, when you press down, this makes your body tense up, and when this continues to happen, it is physically unsustainable and playing might become more tiring than it should be. In this way, you can also risk serious injury. However, when you pull the bow horizontally, you allow the sound to resonate more deeply. Remember, less is more. It might be challenging for us to understand that sometimes we can achieve better results by doing less. After all, playing the cello is supposed to be liberating, not a stressful experience. When I studied at the New England Conservatory of Music, my former professor, Lawrence Lester, emphasized that in order to produce better sound quality, we need to have a sensation of pulling the string using the bow similar to that of pizzicato with the finger. We need to let the cello ring in the same way, just like the way we do the pizzicato. First, try plucking a string using either your first or second finger. As you can see, the movement goes from left to right. This horizontal effect should be replicated when playing the down bow. Now, let's turn to the up bow. It's as simple as doing the opposite of the down bow motion. It may be surprising to discover that good tone production can be achieved with little effort. When experiencing this for the first time, some students are startled by how easy it is. In a sense, anything achieved through vertically pushing down or pressing on the string can be done more effectively by pulling the string sideways. The key is to allow the natural weight of your arm to apply slight pressure. It should feel as though energy is flowing from your back to the contact point. However, your back should not feel rigid or stiff, since we do not want to create tension that can lead to physical restriction. As you can see, pulling the string horizontally is much more effective than pushing straight down on them. This movement provides greater stability and avoids the impulse to use more force than necessary. That's all for today. I hope you found this tutorial beneficial. I plan on posting more cello-related content in the future, so if you liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will be happy to share my thoughts with you. Thank you and see you next time.